What are we doing?
Dude, I don't know.
You need a hug? All right, let's do it.
So I was doing some research,
It's like therapy for us. You're just easing into not having much time on your hands.
and I'm stoked for the journey. What's up, everybody? My name is B. Ryan B. Oid.
I don't even know how to answer that. Are you sure about that?
B. Breezy.
Be breezy. That's good. I like be breezy.
Yeah.
I'm Zack Easy.
And we are two dads on a mic. What's up, buddy?
Nothing, man. Just same old, man. I think every time you ask me, I'm just gonna be like same old.
I know.
Working my butt off and trying to create as many life experiences as I
Oh,
can.
that's so heartwarming.
Yeah, mine. It's very warm right now.
Welcome.
Wait, it's over here? I forgot.
It doesn't matter. Dude, it's on your sleeve, bro. You just wear your heart on your sleeve.
It's anywhere, man.
So cute.
It's my brain.
Welcome to episode number 13, everybody. We're so happy and thankful and grateful that you're here. Before we jump into our topic today, before we jump into all that good mumbo jumbo, a few housekeeping items. Once again, we are now officially on iTunes. You can find us at Two Dads on a Mic, our podcast. We do ask that you rate, review, and subscribe, please. We're trying to get on the new and noteworthy section of that podcast, so that really helps us out, really helps us get some
Traction?
Traction, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. That's why you're my co-host, because I would be screwed doing this alone. And also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The number Two Dads on a Mic. Follow us there. We put up a bunch of content there. You can kind of look at our journey of our families and just funny things that we like to post on those social media platforms.
Sí.
See, we just had Cinco de Mayo.
Sí, señor.
So let's jump into today. Today we are going to talk because let me preface this. We got Memorial Day right around the corner, right? We've got the end of school right around the corner.
Yes.
For all you parents that have kiddos in school. So what does that usually mean happens?
Family vacations, ladies and gentlemen.
Family vacation.
Now that could be everybody could be jumping. Some people could be jumping for joy. Some people are like, oh, they're out of school.
Yep.
I've met a lot, and I don't know how I'm going to feel as Arya grows up. I'm like looking forward to that. I feel like, and I tell Jess, I'm going to be taking her out of school, like while she's in school. Like, hey, there's something going on in somewhere that it's 4 hours away. You want to ditch school for 3 days and let's go hang out? But you can't do that.
Damn you.
I know.
You were my nemesis when I was a teacher.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's the happiest day of a teacher's life, and it's the saddest day of a parent's life.
Yeah.
The end of school.
But there's rules now, like how many, just like you can't do that because there's rules if you miss a certain amount of days and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, you can do it, but there is rules. You cannot miss a certain, but it's like an absorbent amount of days. It's like, you got to miss like 40 days of school.
I think it will depend on where she goes to school and what I think about that school. Because I've heard many stories of clients and people just like, man, my kid's school sucks.
Yeah, but you know what? They have so many breaks in school now. They have like a week for fall break. They now have fall break. True. They now have winter break and they have spring break.
I feel like California has more days off than any state I've ever heard.
Well, it's not necessarily true because it's the same amount of days in school. They just have a less of a summer. So like
I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like for instance, the district that I live in, right? They go to school until like mid-June, and then they go back mid-August. Whereas when I got out,
we had like
would get
3
out
months.
like the week after Memorial Day, and then I wouldn't go back till like Labor Day. I'd have like 3 months.
That is true. Okay. You know what? I get it now. I kind of agree with that too, because giving them breaks throughout and not just overwhelming them.
Yeah.
Builds their brain back up to come back and like absorb more.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, the first school I taught in, best year round.
It was just full year round.
Year round school. So you had tracks. You had A, B, C, and D.
Mm-hmm.
So you would be in school for 9 weeks, and then you'd be out of school for 3 weeks. And then you'd be in school for 9 weeks, and then you'd be out of school for 3 weeks. Drove the parents nuts.
True.
Because what do you do with your kid for 3 weeks, right? But, dude, as a teacher, it was the greatest thing in the world. Just bust your ass for 9 weeks, then you get 3 weeks off.
But it balances out. I mean, like, let's say they're in kindergarten.
Right.
Let's say. And so those 3 weeks, I mean, you probably daycare. I mean, like, if you have to work, you got to work. You're not going to take 3 weeks off you can't. So I wonder, that's the route they go. I mean, for me, that would be just more family time because we work from home. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was tough for families because I mean, either way, you still got to pay for those intermittent daycares. If you have summer camp, you send your kid to summer camp if you're a working parent, right? If you have a year-round school, you got to find like they had like track camps. So those tracks that were off of school, there were like certain companies like Boys and Girls Club and things like that had like track camps that you could send your kids to. So I mean, it evens out. It's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's the same amount of days that you're out of school as you're in school. 180 days is a school year. So, or some districts, I think it's 180 in some, 182 in others, but it's roughly about 180
no matter what, they meet that 180,
Yeah.
regardless of how they distribute what days. Okay.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
Yep.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's got to be that way. But anyway, we're going to talk today about summer vacations, which, you know what? It makes me think about the most, one of the greatest movies of all time, National Lampoon's.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Vacation.
Which one? I mean, like.
But the first one, the vacation, when they go to Wally World.
Yeah.
And they
Shitter's full.
No, that's
Is
Christmas vacation.
Oh, that's Christmas.
Yeah, that's Christmas vacation. Summer vacation is the one.
I remember, yeah.
Where they're going to Wally World. Well, they're going to the Grand Canyon via Wally World, right? So they stop by the Grand Canyon. But the best part of that movie is they go to Grandma's house their aunt's house. She was the aunt, I think, and they go to her house to pick her up because they're gonna pick her up and take her on this vacation with her, and they pick her up and they have her dog with the dog comes and the dog's just all over the place, climbing in the car. So Chevy Chase gets out at one of the gas stations to fill up the car with gas, and he gets the dog out to take her to the bathroom, and then while he's filling up the car with gas, he hooks the leash to the bumper. And he gets in the car and drives off. And then he gets pulled over like 50 miles down the road. And the cop comes up to the car and he's holding the leash. And he's like, poor little guy. Probably kept up with you for the first mile or so. And then his poor little legs just gave out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, it's just a classic.
I kind of remember that. I remember the Wally. If I rewatched it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I could probably retell the scene I'm watching. But I don't remember that much. I remember Wally World.
Oh,
like getting there. It was closed, right?
Yeah,
and they got there. Yeah,
it was closed, and they like hijacked the security guards to like break into Wally World, and John Candy's like the main security guard.
Yeah. God.
Oh, it's such a great
that was the
show.
best era of comedy.
And then the aunt dies.
I don't remember.
The great aunt dies while they're going, so they tie her to the rocking chair on top of the car and put a tarp over because it's like raining. Oh my God, dude, it's a classic movie.
So, did you ever see the National Lampoon's documentary on Netflix right now?
No.
Watch it.
Is it good?
It's dope. And they have, I forgot the name, the main guy from one of the from Saturday Night Live.
Uh-huh.
He plays, but I didn't know everything they were involved with. Of like what they started, and I think I talked about
the brand National Lampoons.
Yeah.
It's like a brand.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's like National Lampoons, Van Wilder.
First, I didn't know that like everybody came from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know that. I didn't. But like the key underwriters that really were involved, I had no idea. But on Netflix, it's a really cool. It's not a documentary. It's an actual movie.
Oh, it's
a movie about the story, and the people that are in it.
So it's not a documentary.
No, it's not a documentary. No, it's a full-on movie. Like someone's playing John Candy, someone's playing John Belushi. So it's dope.
It's the story.
Yeah, it's the story of how it got started and where it was at. It was. I just randomly watched it and I was like,
"This really cool."
It's dope. Like someone plays Bill Murray. I mean, like
that would be, dude. How do you play Bill Murray?
I know. And the dude who plays it is like he has his own TV show. Does a decent. They all do a decent job. You know?
I think that would be playing one of those, like to play an actor like Man on the Moon when Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman. Dude,
you see that documentary?
Unbelievable.
Oh, watch that documentary.
Oh.
It's just on Jim Carrey creating and being the role.
No way.
Because he goes, what's it called when they go character? They go in. He becomes him, and I'm talking to the T of like pisses everybody. I mean, he becomes
Andy
Kaufman to the T,
and Kaufman would piss people off,
and he does it. Jim Carrey Jim Carrey like crashes a car. I mean, like it's crazy. I haven't even finished it, but it's interesting.
I think that would probably be one of the hardest roles in Hollywood to play an actor. Like, and someone that everybody knows. Like, if you're a Hollywood actor, right, and you play, like, let's say for instance, when Leonardo DiCaprio played the aviator guy,
yeah.
right? Like, no one really knows that guy. They know Howard Hughes was a weird dude, but you don't really know him. Like, You know Bill Murray. You know you understand how he acts, his mannerisms. So to have to like reenact that role, that would be extremely
I mean, you
difficult.
better pick the right person, and you better do an amazing job.
Yeah, the casting
or it could ruin your
person would
career.
have to be on point.
Could ruin your career.
Totally. It's not like Will Ferrell playing Ron Burgundy, right?
You know, he was just at Oceanside High School.
Yeah.
I
He got
was
in a
like,
car wreck.
No.
He got in a car wreck.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I wonder if he was in costume in the car wreck because he was like had to go to a different function, and the police officer is there is like, is this a joke? Where are the
That's
cameras?
awesome.
That would
Yeah.
be funny.
Yeah, he got in a car wreck. I think he had to go to he got like an ambulance or something. I think he had to go like Tri-City right here.
What?
Yeah. How funny would that be? You going to Tri-City and Will Ferrell's like laying on a bed drooling.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, let's talk about. Do you remember your summer vacations?
I remember just one big time, and it was always anything. Wherever we went, we never flew anywhere. I don't even remember the first time I was on a plane. It was probably when I was like 20 years old, I think. I don't know, but it was always family trip in the minivan or the station wagon. And I just remember one. We drove from Minneapolis to California and stopped everywhere throughout the way. And the reason why we did it is because my grandma at the time loved to gamble. And Mystic Lake was in Minneapolis, the casino nearby, and she won a jackpot for like 25 grand, and she just paid for all of us to go to rent a house in Santa Cruz, California, and we drove there, and it was amazing. I mean, I was very lucky growing up. My dad was a videographer, so everything is videotaped.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have like a...
Did he have one of those video cameras that were in the bag and the VHS recorder? And
everything.
Yeah.
He had everything. He would come home from trips sometimes just like bins upon bins, but everything is documented, and it's converted now to DVD. So like I can watch it all, so I can remember all of it. And that's the main thing. And I stress to everybody. So in regards to family vacations, if you're not documenting these moments, and I'm talking document, not like, yeah, let me get an Instagram photo. I'm talking like documenting.
Yeah.
Like you were just saying, I was just taking photos and videos of Mac taking a bath in the sink. I'm like, wait, have you guys documented? And then Mom was like, we need to get a camera. Get a camera. $300, you can get an amazing camera.
Yeah.
Like crazy. It's so important. But then documenting it, also chopping it and editing some stuff and organizing that is very important. But back to the vacations. Yeah, I remember driving and just it was a whirlwind of just awesomeness.
I think that's an essential part of a vacation, though, is documenting it. One thing my family, so we did do the video recording. My dad got this. I remember in the '80s, you had the VHS systems, right? And then half of the VH system came off, and it went into a bag, and then the video recorder hooked to the VHS system, and then you could record and record right on the tape. So he loved that thing, and he would record everything. But after that, like, he didn't ever step up his video recording game, you know? And so I remember we have a lot of home videos of, like, from the time I was, I don't know, and vacation videos, like, maybe 4 years old till, like, 8 or 9 years old. But after that, I don't have anything.
Are they still on VHS?
Yeah.
You got it. You have to get those and have them in your world. Because here's the thing about VHS tapes, it's tape. Over time, they deteriorate. Big time.
Oh.
You want to get them digitized.
Okay.
Like when I was in Canada, where my wife's from, her dad, of course, I know very well, and he's just like, look, I have all these cassettes, or all these VHS, and I'm like, oh, I know where you're going with this. I'm like, I always bring my laptop, and I'm like, so I went to the local place, and I like rented a conversion VHS system, and I converted all of their VHS tapes and gave them to them digital, so they're all QuickTime movies
cool,
now.
though.
Yeah, and but it's so important. I mean, there's companies out there that do them. I mean, Walmart I think does it, but do it. If you have tapes, don't just put them in a bin and set them away. They will deteriorate over time. And then, yeah, also half of them were also re-recorded over because not knowing that of like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Oh, that would happen too.
But get them converted. Get them in your hand. I mean, if I see them, I have pictures of family, videotapes. I always become that person because I'm in that world. It's very important.
So when you're talking about family vacation, right? Was your family a destination vacation family? Was your family a transient vacation
What's
family?
transient mean?
In other words, place to place to place to place. And did you fly or drive?
Always drove, and literally think because there was 4 kids in our family. I would say middle class. Like we didn't really go on family vacations, but I think our whole life was kind of a family vacation. I was very lucky in a way of like always going out to do something, whether it be sports. Skateboarding was huge in my growing up. So it literally, and I got to ask my mom, like that one vacation was the big one. That's the only one I think I took. And as I got older, it's like I had a soccer trip, so I had to go there or whatever maybe, but it was always driving.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep. And I don't know if that's a generational thing because we went on a summer vacation every summer. So my parents were in education, right? So they had summers off. So we always went on a summer vacation. We did not go on it was very rare, maybe once or twice that we actually went on vacation during the other times of the year. We did do a Christmas vacation one time in San Diego. And then we ended up leaving like 3 days early. Because
Why?
Well, my sister and I. Okay, so my parents, they were like, "Let's go to San Diego." This is the quintessential Boyd family vacation. They never, and we're gonna get into this because I think this is very important for parents to understand. Solicit your children for advice on what to do on vacation. Because it's not about what you want to do. You go on vacation for your children. I mean, you do for yourself, right? But you have children with you. So my parents were very destination but transient people. So we would go on vacation the majority of the time, and we would drive almost 90% of the time.
What kind of car did you have?
Oh,
at the time?
dude.
Minivan or station wagon?
Oh, no. Just a full-on sedan. Just
Really?
a 4-door sedan.
Well, that's kind of tough.
Brutal.
Because on a side note, in the minivan world, how I love to hack things, I started at an early age. So minivan, you had two sets of rows of chairs and then the two front seats. I was tired. I was small. I could crawl under the seats. Guess where I slept?
Yep.
Right under the seats.
And you were
like
comfortable.
My sister and brother's feet were, chair here, right here, and I was
and you were
passed
comfortable.
out.
And if you can sleep on a road vacation, driving vacation, it's money.
Yeah.
So when you're in a sedan, a 4-door car, and you've got mom and dad up front and sister and brother in the back, dude, sleep is very difficult. And when we drove, we would drive for 400 to 500 miles a day. So we were transient. Vacationers. My parents would map out like a 2-week vacation. It would be all driving, and it would be one day here, one day there, one day here, one day there. So no destination. Like you wouldn't go somewhere, chill, relax, and see things. It would be we would drive from Salt Lake to Twin Falls, Idaho, and then from Twin Falls, Idaho, we'd drive to North Dakota, and then it was like 90% of the time was driving. And when we would drive to a place and we would be there for the night, we'd get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because we had 500 miles of driving ahead of us, and I'll tell you what, it was awesome to see the countryside, and I've been to every single state in the United States.
Jeez.
I've been to every single state.
That's impressive.
There's not one state I haven't been to, which I'm thankful for, right? But at the end of the day, it was so boring.
Depending on, getting out of Minnesota, you had a good 7 hours of flat land, nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
When you get into the Midwest, it's just brutal.
And we got to remember, back then, there were no phones.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. It was
I had a Walkman.
I mean, I think of how just in regards to where are you gonna go next? How are we gonna get to A to B? It's it's the Atlas, kind of world. And I mean, it's a different world of vacations now
And
of what
maps.
we have access to.
Maps. My parents would have the
Yeah.
pulled out maps.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, and they would get so lost. They would get so
I mean,
lost.
you wrap your brain around how stressful it is just to life now and kids now. And let's go on a vacation. We have no idea how to get there.
Yeah.
Get that piece of paper out and let's see. Oh yeah, we're just going on the
It's
road.
big
Oh
enough
no.
to be a sunblock in the mirror of your
Let's.
or your window
Oh
of
yeah,
your
I think we should
car.
pull over. Yeah, the monument. Yeah, it's County Road 82 and 40. Yeah, let's pull over. Let's check
Yeah.
this out. We're not even close to where we are.
Yeah, so that's my fondest memories of vacation. Now we would go camping every summer. We went to this awesome little lake up in the Uintas in Utah, up in the mountains, and it was East Park. But the thing is that we would go to with 5 families, which was rad, and there were tons of kids, right? And go camping with kids is the funnest thing in the world. But I was the youngest, and the oldest was 9 years older than me. So by the time I was 9 years old, all the other kids were growing up, and the other families stopped coming. So we stopped going. So by the time I was 10, 11 years old, we didn't do that camping trip anymore.
Well, I was gonna ask that. Did you ever go to camp?
So I did go to camp one time. I went to I think we talked about this on a past episode. Remember we talked about starting our
Sports
own.
Oh yeah,
our
yeah.
own
Two dads in a camp.
in a camp.
Investors, anybody listening, hit us up.
By the way, I was driving out to Fallbrook the other day, and I saw a summer camp. Dude, it looked pretty cool.
If you see any camp sign now for the rest of your life, you're going to think, could we do it?
Yeah.
I
instantly, I was like,
Meaning it's possible.
So we did these awesome camping trips with these families. But, okay, so I was the youngest. There were 9 kids, and every kid was 1 year older than the next. It was a trip. So I was 9. Then there was a kid that was 10. My sister was 11. There was another kid that was 12, all the way up to like 17. So the problem was I was the youngest. They had been doing this their whole lives, all the way up to like 14, 15, 16, 17. Well, I was the youngest. They all started growing up. They didn't want to go anymore.
It's not cool anymore.
So it stopped. So I only got to enjoy it for like 5 years, and then it kind of stopped and died out. So when we stopped doing the summer camp trip, then we started doing the road trips. And when you're like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and you're spending 2 to 3 weeks of your summer on the road with your parents, driving 400 to 500 miles a day, I'm not saying I'm not grateful for that opportunity. Let me just state that right now. I'm very grateful that I had the privilege to do that, because I know people that just didn't get to travel very much. But it would have been very nice to have my parents just once or twice look at me and say, hey, you know, we're going to this podunk town in Wyoming. Why don't you take a look and see if there's anything that might be of interest to you?
Are you sure they didn't?
Yes.
And at the
time,
time,
I was never consulted on what do you want to
whatever
go
you
see.
maybe said at that age, you were like, I want to go to the Laffy Taffy Palace. But that would have been cool. That's actually a bad thing. But you could have just said something just like totally like, yeah, that's not, we're not driving 5 hours out of the way to go see that. But then you would have liked that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Because, so my sister's doing a really cool thing. She, with her kids, when they turn, I think when they turn 13, when they become a teenager, she is, for that year that they turn 13, they get to plan their family vacation.
That's interesting.
They get to plan the whole thing.
They pick 13 because at 13 in the Jewish religion, you get a bar bat mitzvah, and that's when you become a man or a woman. And
Isn't
she
that
picked 13. That's weird. And they get to take on this adult role of like planning a vacation.
But I think it's awesome, and I think it's a good age because they know how to do research on the internet, right? They know how to look up places, so they get to plan a week-long vacation. They get to plan it. Now, they have a budget that they got to work with, which I think is another brilliant idea, right? You give your kid a budget. You say, look, the trip can only cost this much. It's not like we're going to go to, Greece and rent a yacht.
That's the next. I like the groundwork that she's laying.
Right.
That's not the next trip, but that's like the 18. Now, when you graduate, you get to budget a over the seas trip.
Right.
If you would like. That's an option to you. But I really like that. I think I would start that early.
Yeah, so she's giving them a budget. And she says you get a week. We get a week vacation, and you get to plan. Now, I'll help you if you want. I can help you research. I'm not planning it, though. So if you don't plan it, we're not going. So it's totally up to you. And it's going to be their choice of what they go see, what they go do, where they go eat. And I think what she's going to do is there's going to be a day in there where the other brother gets to choose something. I think there's a day in there where the mom and the dad also get to choose something, but the majority of the vacation is planned around what that kid wants to do.
Do you think that she is now doing that subconsciously because of how you guys had your trip?
Absolutely. Oh, we've talked about it.
So there you go. Thank you, parents, for that.
Yeah, I think it's touche.
There you go.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. You're amazing.
You've now schooled me how to do
Like, think about that though. If you go on a vacation with Arya, right? And let's say it's this summer. She's 4, right?
She's 3.5. Yeah.
She'll be 4 when?
December.
Okay, so she'll be 3.5, and you say, okay, Arya, we're gonna go to San Francisco, right? And then you say to her, okay, we're going to be there for 4 days. Now, on one day, there's 5 different things we can go do. We can go do this, or this, right? Which would you want to go do, right? If she gets to pick something that day, I think she's going to look forward to the whole vacation knowing that she was a part of being that decision maker.
No, I agree, but not at 3.5. No. They don't. Their attention span is 10-second Tom.
But you don't.
You could show them a photo of the Ghirardelli Chocolate Center, the pier, the seals, and Alcatraz, and she's gonna pick Alcatraz. Let's say. While we're on the boat, I don't want to go to Alcatraz. She's not even. No. It's the age you pick at. I don't know what the age might be. I would guess.
But if you're just constantly all the way up to that point talking about it, you don't think she's gonna instill in her brain?
You could build up you could build up the most amazing thing a 3.5-year-old would
I have a lot
want.
to learn as a dad.
You could build the most amazing thing as a 3-year-old would want. And as you're, let's say, buying the tickets and getting on the ferry trolley to go to that place, there's a baked bear here with a bear outside selling cookies and ice cream. And she's like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Alcatraz
No.
out the window.
Age is a big thing.
So maybe instead of like planning for that, maybe you do it like spot. Like you're in the moment and you're like, okay, we're right here. We can go there, or there. What would you like to do?
Well, and as Matt grows, you're gonna know what she likes.
Yeah.
You can kind of anticipate she's gonna love this. You
Yeah.
know, like I would say starting at maybe
8 or 9?
8 years old
Yeah.
is when you could really start saying, and they're gonna realize what they're looking forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, Arya is repetitive on certain things of like, oh my goodness, we're gonna do this today. Like yesterday, we gave Arya these bath bowls of like they just bubble and like do some weird stuff in the bathtub, and she woke up. She's like, oh my god, I want to do that again. You know, but planning and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like 8.
That
Not
makes sense.
not
So
till like
maybe
8.
more of like a spot or the day of kind of thing.
Day of, but still,
Yeah.
even day of, and like as you're walking down the block right now with Arya, and you're like, do you want to go do that? Like, yeah, I want to do that. And then all of a sudden you see she's something else. No, I want to do that. And you bought tickets and everything for the movie for the. We're taking her to like Frozen on Ice. We literally could be walking in Frozen on Ice, and she could see something over there. Oh, now I want to do that, and she could throw a fit. I want to go do that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
age is key.
I have a lot to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you know, I think so. My biggest caveat with this is that I think my dad loved to plan our family vacations.
Control.
He's a huge history buff, right? He was a history teacher before he became an administrator.
Oh gosh.
And so the majority of our vacations were literally around
The one
like,
thing
history,
you don't want to
historical
do
stuff.
as a kid.
You'd go to like battlefields, and we went to Gettysburg. Dope. Gettysburg was cool as shit, right? Like you go to Gettysburg and like the ambiance there, you're just like, whoa, this place is creepy.
Like,
as
what was
shit.
that?
Yeah, it's seriously. And then
Reload!
Right. But when we went to Boston, right, what did we do? We went and did the walk, the Freedom Walk. They call it the Freedom Walk, and you walk on this line that goes all through the city, and you see Benjamin Franklin's house, and you see Thomas Edison's house, and blah blah blah. But you or I don't even know if Thomas Edison was one of the people, whatever. But they were the things that like that he wanted to do.
I get it.
And you know, I think it was more of a vacation for him, and we were just kind of along for the ride.
No, I get it. I mean, like,
It was cool to see the stuff.
I feel like now comparing like a dad's, my dad is like me where he was a kid, you know, always. So like all the stuff that we did was we'd go places like driving from Minnesota. I remember like going to the Badlands, the Corn Palace, stopping anywhere. But everywhere we went, it was made to be a fun, goofy experience, which
Oh,
it segued
that's
into
cool.
me. And it's what happens now, you know, like.
And that's what I want for Mac. I want it to be the same way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if that means we go ziplining in the jungle of Costa Rica, then that's what we do.
Dude, speaking of ziplining, so
Yeah.
the one house we just looked at or have,
Yeah.
they have 2 trees, and literally we looked at another house that had a zip line. They just made one. I'm like, oh my god,
That is
like,
awesome.
I may designate trying to buy another house if I could put a zip line in. Like, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's everywhere we went was really nothing I'd never wanted to do. We loved staying in hotels. That was a big part of our thing. And a funny, bad kids that we were, me and my brother, we found out that, sorry, all you hotels, fingernail files, you know, like the clippers, you know, the piece that cleans your fingernails?
Yeah.
So that little piece,
The little hook thing.
I don't know if it was my older brother, we figured out how to open up locks.
Oh.
Meaning all the old school hotels had pool tables. And we could open up the pool table lock, open it,
Oh, get the pool balls.
get free pool
Nice.
all night long.
Oh, it's
So
amazing.
and
See, you had a brother to do shit
and
like this with. My
video
sister would have
games.
never done that.
And video games.
Oh.
So like if they had an arcade,
No
we
way.
could figure out how to get free video games.
No, you could not.
And on top of that, we
you could unlock the video game.
were kind of bad
Did
kids.
you
like,
get the quarters?
Yeah.
Oh, you stole the quarters?
Yeah, I'll be honest, yeah.
Oh shit!
So,
I'd gone
like-
on vacation. I'd have been like, "Mom, next hotel, let's
So
go."
we were just, you know, those kids, you know, as we grow. I mean, like, there's people out there that did the same thing. Also, like,
Don't try to justify what you're doing by saying
there's like
these
4
people-
billion people in the world, okay, Brian?
You cannot do that. Do not
we
justify
were
that
just
shit.
we were just kids. We were kids. I don't even know what age we were, but we even like I remember taking a nickel,
Like a slug, a nickel slug.
No, just a regular nickel.
Okay.
Taking a hammer,
All right.
pounding it out
Right.
to the same size as a quarter, and 50% of the time, it would read as a quarter in a vending machine.
Take you to pound a
It
nickel
didn't
into a
matter.
quarter?
It didn't matter. It was like I don't know what it was.
Oh my!
And maybe that's when it started with me of like always not trying to get over, but always just trying to like get more and like I don't know. It's a.
So if you could give one or two pieces of advice to
Go on
parents
that
out
note.
there,
On that note, don't let your kids have fingernail files on vacation.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I had a sister or a brother, I wish my sister would have been more. All my sister wanted to do on vacation, read. That's all she wanted to do, read.
Wah,
read,
wah,
read,
wah.
read, read.
Oh, no,
She
we
would
were
just read
very-
book after book after book, and I'm just like, dude, I don't want to read books. I'm on vacation.
See, yeah, I wonder, and you guys have talked. You guys want to have another kid? Is this okay to bring up right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. See, I wonder if that's underlyingly why you guys might, and whereas me and even Jess grew up with with brothers and sisters and also foster kids in her world, and I grew up with two brothers and a sister.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have been satisfied in the brother and sister world that I don't think about having another child because we're good. We're one and done. I wonder if that plays any role in that.
Well, I just I don't know because I was satisfied with my sister. I'm stoked that I had my sister, right?
You're stoked, but like you're now bringing up things of like these are
I don't want more
subconsciously
than
things.
two.
Yeah.
I don't want more than two. I don't want three. I think that's too
What if
many.
you have another girl though? You're gonna think about having another one because you
No.
underlyingly might
No, I
want a boy.
really won't. I swear to you. I'm telling you right now, bro. Mark that down on the book, dude.
I believe you. I believe you.
I think two is plenty. If I have two girls, so be it. It's totally cool. Totally cool.
People still look at me crazy every time. I'm like, nah, one and done. We were one and done before we had a baby. People are
I
like,
think Molly though might want more. Dude, she's like baby fever.
yeah, but
I'm
you
like,
guys are
dang.
a couple weeks in or a
That's
month
true.
in.
That's
Like,
true.
you aren't even at the next level.
Yeah.
And the next level, the next is going to be not testing, but it'll open your eyes of like what it's really going to be like. It's very easy right now.
Yeah.
Still, but
Well, yeah, it is. It's super easy. I mean, dude, Mac is the bomb. She's the coolest baby ever. She's
soak
so
this up,
chill.
everybody. I'm gonna remember this. We're gonna cut this part. Mac is the bomb. It's super easy. Give it like let's see in like 2 months in,
2 months?
but it's fine. I mean, like
No, I'm serious.
yeah.
2 months?
I think it might be the 3 month mark. I don't
Okay.
know.
A 3 month ager?
Yeah,
Three
three months
nager?
ager.
3 month nager? See, you're in the 3 nagers right now.
Yeah,
Ari's a 3 nager.
man,
Ooh.
tester.
Woo! We're gonna
What's
talk
part
about
of
that
that?
too
I
in another
know,
episode.
I know,
So
I know.
okay, so if we were talking summer vacations, if you could give one or two pieces of advice to parents out there about summer vacation,
Just like what makes a successful
what
summer
would you
vacation?
tell them would be one or two things that they could do to make it successful or enjoyable or just something that's really going to make an impact on their kid?
I would say a couple things would be, as Brian said, engage and involve your kid in regards to what's going to be planned. I love if they're at the age where they can plan it. I think that's genius.
Yeah.
Of like getting them ready for the real world of that way. In regards to the phones and the internet time, I would kind of regulate that time big on a trip. If you're driving, I would say, phones and stuff is not allowed. While let's say driving or not driving, but like just something, because there's moments within road trips where it does it with adults. Is it somehow like you're just driving, like you just feel like, and then a talk happens and a half hour goes by.
Yeah.
I think that's a key moment. When other times are you going to have your children, your family within a confined area for 4 hours? You really have to think about that. You could pre-plan with, your significant other, like, I think this is the moment we should bring this up with everybody.
Yeah.
They can't escape out of a 60 mile per hour moving car when you bring up something awkward. I think this is another like life hack you can kind of do. So we weren't surrounded by, gadgets and all this stuff. We had, we had games, you play in the car, and Alphabet game was one, and just enjoy, even if it sucks, letting educating your kids, finding out ways of how it doesn't, or what's out there, or what are you driving through, whatever it may be. But involving your kids of like where to go. I think a lot of parents nowadays do, because they have access to the internet and stuff, and they kind of tell them, You know, like depending on what the age, they know I'm going to Des Moines, Iowa. What the heck's in Des Moines, Iowa?
Right.
And they're like, hey, Ma, let's go check this out. I mean, I think kids educate their parents more than vice versa.
I think it's the parent's responsibility to let the kid know that, you know, we're going here because, you know, this is our ultimate goal. But, you know, while we're there, find some stuff to do. Let's go do some things that you want to do. So that would be my number one thing on top of what you're saying is involve them in that process. Number two, I love what you just said about making it, if it's a road trip or something, like making that time an engagement piece with the family. Like maybe it's you guys listen to a book on tape together, and then after every chapter you have a discussion about it. Or maybe you listen to a podcast. There's some awesome podcasts out there now that you could listen to and have like real great discussions with your kids about what they think about the way that podcast is going or what they're talking about. So those are things that we didn't do that I wish we would have done, and just had like really cool conversations around it and just engage in that time, because I think it would have made the time pass a lot faster instead of just trying to listen to my Beach Boys tape over and over and over again.
I had Beastie Boys.
Oh, dude, I had Beach Boys, bro. Dude, Beach Boys were the
Nothing
bomb,
wrong with Beach
bro.
Boys. I love the Beach Boys. I'm just like,
Man, when I was 8 years old, there was no Beastie Boys when I was 8 years old.
what was I listening to?
8 years old. That was my jam, the Beach Boys, dude. Come on. What's wrong with you? That's an iconic group.
Oh, I
of
love
all
Beastie
time.
Boys.
No, you don't. You're laughing at me.
No, I know that.
Now my feelings are hurt.
I'm just trying to like think of like what was I listening to at 8?
Yeah, what
8.
were
My
you
brother
listening
then was 10 because I always like followed my older brother.
Yeah.
Of what was listened to, but
It was probably New Kids on the Block. Man.
no,
Whatever.
no. Boy bands were never ever brought into our world ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead serious.
Listen to this guy.
I'm dead serious.
Donnie Wahlberg.
I'm
lover.
dead. Dude, I was playing it when we were selling live a couple days ago. I played like a 90s mix for Jess, and every song was just on point. Everybody live was like, oh my God, it's the best mix ever. Like, oh my
it
God.
all Backstreet
It's
Boys?
all just like quintessential, like amazing boy bands
Yeah.
/ girl bands.
Yeah.
And yeah. And
Boy band's got it going on.
I was like, I might just release
Come on, man.
playlist of people.
JT came from a boy band. Whew.
Yeah, he successful out of that for sure.
Yeah. So those are just a few of the things that I think are extremely important that I hope going into the summer months you can take away, you can implement, and hopefully your summer vacations, because, hey, let's be honest, they cost a lot of money.
They do.
It's expensive to go on vacation. So make it awesome for every single person involved, not just for yourself. Don't do it selfishly, but do it for your whole family and get everybody to talk about it, because when you have those memories, right, and you can come back home and then you can reflect on that vacation, I think that is just as important as actually going on the vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the memories, because that's what lives on through the rest of your lives. It's not actually what happens. It's being able to reflect on it and then living through that the rest of your lives and having great conversation and stuff around
Yeah,
it.
and I think it depends on, what category you're in. Like, do I have an abundance of money? Do I have no money? I mean, like, I think anything you veer into that's not electronic based, outdoors is key. If you don't have a lot of money, go camping.
Yeah.
I never even went camping, but I
Camping's
love
cheap.
camping
Yeah.
more than anything. I love anything outdoors. We're trying to move away from the city right now so I can live more outdoorsy life, so I can like have things for my daughter to do, because that's what I liked growing up doing. I'd rather have her climb up a tree, and I used to take a saw and just climb up trees and just saw branches. That's all. I love to do it. I love to take all the
What do you
tools
do
and just
if your daughter doesn't want to be outdoors?
I think she will, because I think our kids always will follow what we do as parents. They look up to us in so many ways. So I think they just eventually do that. Mm-hmm. And even if they don't, and let's say she's on her phone at whatever age she's at, and I'm right out the window doing something, and she's going to be intrigued and like interested in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then, but that's the trickery of being a parent too, of just knowing I'm very good at being trickery with my child, even at 3. Like, I know how to manipulate.
Child trickery. She knows how to manipulate too, though.
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
can read into that, so she can't. I know the fake cry.
Yeah.
Which right now is happening. It's like the cry of just the smirk. That's like she's crying, but the smile is trying to get out. Like, no, I know too much. I know too much. But regardless, it's important to take the vacations, whether it be a day or 2 or 2 weeks, whatever
Yeah,
it
it
may
doesn't have to be a whole week.
But focusing that time on family time, education time, bonding time. Remind them, of whatever it may be.
Because you guys just went on a vacation to Mexico.
Yeah, we took my mom and went to Mexico. It was amazing. I mean, it's life experiences are the best education you can give to any age person out there.
Yeah.
And they don't have to cost money. depending on where you live. I'm from Minnesota. There's 10,000 lakes, literally. You can go to any of them. California, we have the ocean. I mean, like, there's so many things you can do out there to life hack that world of just mental greatness.
Yeah.
And you don't have to fly to, London or something to have an amazing experience. You just have to, just plan a little bit. But as your kid grows older, and I love getting your kids involved in planning it, because then they feel fulfilled and they accomplish something. There's so many underlying factors in that are super important.
Yeah, and I think the most important aspect of that, of what Zach just talked about, was getting the family together. That's what a vacation's about. It's getting your family together as a single unit and leaving your day-to-day life and interacting with each other, getting to know each other on a different level, and enjoying each other. So please take that away from this, and we hope you guys have amazing family vacations this summer and this Memorial Day weekend and 4th of July. And I just think for my moment of gratitude, I'm very grateful that I came from a family that took vacations, right? I'm grateful that we went and saw a lot of different things, and I'm just hopeful that I'm able to do that with my own family as well, and share those amazing experiences with her.
Yeah, my moment of gratitude, just because of family vacations, is how funny my dad was. And two situations was, camera was on him, my mom was driving, and he's driving like this, and we have no idea what's going on, and he just goes, "Honey, I just don't feel good." And he's like, and he lays his head on the horn, and it's going, and we're in the back kind of freaking out. My mom's filming, and we're thinking like something's going down. He's kind of moving the steering wheel, and he's like, "I'm just kidding." And it was amazing. And also, back in the day, and even now, every hotel has like a shower cap. My little brother Josh always is a goofster, still is. He would wear a shower cap. My dad was like, "Wear that to the restaurant." We went to a Chinese restaurant, literally in the middle of nowhere, and Josh wore a shower cap the whole meal.
No way.
And my dad kind of like, do it. He'd always like coaxed us. Is that the word?
Yeah, coax us.
Yeah, onto doing it. So the humor of my dad on my family trips to make him fun, that's what I'm more of my dad.
I love that, man. That is so cool. Most dads would not do something like that. Like, no, you don't wear that to a restaurant.
Times that by 10. And if you think about where I get my stuff.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode number 13. Lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13.
Right? So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for supporting us. Once again, don't forget, subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. The podcast is out now. Follow us on social media. We've got Instagram. We've got Twitter. We've got Facebook, all at the number 2 Dads on a Mic. We're so excited to bring you more content. We're really trying to get, like I said earlier, into that new and noteworthy section. So the more help you can give us, the more we would appreciate that. My name is Brian Boyd.
And I'm Zach Gidler, and we are 2 Dads on a Mic.
We out.